Can't touch this. Can't touch this. 2 turntables and a microphone. You didn't just hear that, did you? That did not happen. That was a figment of your imagination. All right. That won't happen again. Promise. Scout's honor. I was never a scout. Hey, everybody. It's time for Mr. Alvier's nighttime reading for you. It's another few pages of Rump. I can't read for very long because I can't upload the longer videos on YouTube. So it can only be about 5 to 6 minutes every night, but I'm trying my best. So I hope you are listening all the way through because I'm reading page to page to page, and you have to just hang in there with me. I'm going to start at the top of page 224. Here we go. That's not true, Rump. You do have a choice. And I started to feel irritated. I don't have a choice, Red. Unless I choose to let the miller hurt you, maybe even kill you, or kill me. Do you want me to make that choice? No, Rump. That's not what I... And the miller snorted and sat up abruptly, looking dazed and confused. What? What are you... And Red whispered frantically to me, Your name, Rump. There has to be more than that. Your mother wouldn't have done that. You think you know so much. There isn't more. My destiny is this. And the miller came to his senses. He grabbed a handful of Red's hair, and she growled and struggled against him. Rump! This isn't your destiny! You're not... And the miller fastened the gag over her mouth again and threw her against a pile of straw so forcefully that a heap fell over her head and buried her up to her chest. Oswald glowered at her, and she glowered back. And then he walked slowly over to me. I concentrated on spinning, hunched low as I fed the straw into the wheel. Whir, 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 another spool. A little pile had formed at my feet. The miller's massive shadow fell over me. He bent down close, and I could smell his breath. It smelled like rotting meat and sour ale, worse than a troll's breath. Do something like that again, and I'll put your little friend in a haystack and set it on fire. And his hand came down across my face and knocked me back from the wheel. Straw flew everywhere like thick golden rain. Get up! You will not stop until every last bit of this straw is gold. And he turned to Opal, who was clutching her baby, protecting him from her father's fury. You! Put that thing back in the basket. It doesn't belong to you. Opal obeyed. I obeyed. I spun in silence for many hours. The afternoon sun burned through the window, making the spools of gold glow red. I had a good high stack, but I didn't think I had put a dent in all the straw. I would have to spin through the night if I was to finish in 3 days, and one of the days was nearly gone. I was already exhausted. When the sun was low in the sky, Frederick and Bruno took me outside so that I could relieve myself of nature's call. They stood right by me, their hands on their big knives at their waists, reminding me that I was trapped. At least the cold air revived me a little, and I could think more clearly. I forced my brain not to think about my destiny or myself. I thought only of getting Red out of this mess. Whatever problems I had, she didn't deserve to be tangled up in them. I would get her free, and then I'd deal with everything else. Back in the castle, the miller tied me to the wheel again and stood over me as I spun. Whenever I filled the bobbin, he quickly removed the skein and added it to the growing pile of gold. Opal had scooted as near to Archie as she dared, looking back and forth between her father and me. She drew her legs up to her chest and wrapped her arms tightly around her shins and rocked back and forth in rhythm to my spinning. She rocked so vigorously that the floorboards beneath her began to creak. By nightfall, the boards lifted each time she rocked back and then cracked down as she came forward. Creak, snap, creak, snap. Red stared at me as I spun, a look of hard determination on her face. I shrugged helplessly, and she rolled her eyes and sank back into the straw. I didn't dare talk. My face still burned from the miller's hand, but questions tumbled around in my head, 1,000 little birds pecking at my brain. Red said I hadn't found all of my name yet, but how did that help me? Even if it was true, I was no closer to finding out the rest. And besides, Rumple made sense. Trapped, trapped, trapped. Eventually, the miller fell asleep in a pile of straw, and the moment he did, Opal crept over to me with a desperate look in her eyes. You said you would tell me how I could keep my baby. Tell me now. I stared at her. I had nearly forgotten our agreement, but Opal had been waiting all this time for the miller to fall asleep so she could ask. Her eyes were red and puffy, and her face was wet with tears. Her chin trembled, and before I could say anything, she started crying again. Stop! Stop, Opal! Your Majesty! There is a way that you can keep your baby. Stop crying. She stopped crying, and I sighed with relief. Tell me, said Opal, as she wiped her nose on her sleeve. I racked my brain wildly. I looked at Red, but she just shook her head at me. We both knew there was no way, but I had to tell Opal something. Anything. I had to give her an impossible task. You must tell me my name, I said. Your name? She asked. Yes, my true name, all of it. If you guess my name before I'm done spinning this gold, you can keep your baby. But your name is Robert, she said. Or, no, it's Butt. Frederick and Bruno always called you Butt. My name has never been Robert or Butt, I said impatiently. You have to guess my real name. And if I do, you'll give me back Archie? I nodded. I knew I was secure in this bargain. She would never guess my name. I didn't even have a real name, only a curse. I promise, I said. Opal took a deep, shuddering breath. I can speak to the king's wise men and search all the name books. Whatever kept her busy and wail-free. She went off looking much lighter, but my burden was still heavy, and my legs and back already ached. I was in a sea of gold now, a filthy gold ocean. And we'll stop right there. All right, my friends, it's almost a 10-minute video. I hope I can upload this. I think I can. Anyhow, have a great night. Brush your teeth. Listen to your parents. Do what you need to do to get into that bed. Get a good night's rest. I hope everybody had a fun day and that you're all still healthy and happy and helping your family around the house. See you tomorrow. Good night.